Hello, Pisces. Welcome to your January love reading. So I've pulled the cards so we can get started right off the bat. So let's look at your overall energy in a love relationship or just your love life in general. So your first one is memories of love. Okay, so you definitely have fond memories of someone that you're already in a relationship with, or somebody that you were in a relationship with, or this could just be fond memories of, even, like your parents, their love relationship, or grandparents, something like that. You also have rest and rejuvenate. Okay, so we'll take a closer look at that. And you have the power. So this is, kind of Leo energy. So you could be dealing with a Leo, but it's also like the strength card. And when this comes out, it's just a message from spirit that you do have the strength to go through whatever you may be going through. And with these two cards here, I'm kind of getting an indication that you may be separated from someone that you love. And our final one is light. So this is kind of like the sun card. It's abundance. It's seeing the light. It's seeing your purpose. It's a lovely energy. And it's, usually only pull 3, but you had 4 that fell. And this one really speaks to, seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. You may have been going through something for a long time, and I know this isn't going to resonate with everybody, but when I pulled this card and then this one came out right after it, some of you may have actually had someone in your life that passed, and it could be, a romantic partner, or, a grandparent or a family member, a close friend. Like, I feel a lot of sadness here, and it's more than, like breaking up with someone is sad, but I get the sense that there could be something, like somebody passed. Maybe recently or maybe not so recently, but you're still kind of recovering from that. If I'm getting that energy, but that won't resonate with everybody. Okay, so let's look at your past energies to see what is coming in the future. All right, so building blocks. This is talking about building strong foundations of what you think love and family, romantic relationships, building the strong building blocks within your relationship. So, that your relationship is built on trust, friendship, compassion, support for each other, very balanced kind of energy. And then you have the Sun card and the Two of Wands. And, for some of you, I think you may have had a very abundant and balanced type of relationship in the past. But with the Two of Wands, it's kind of like, there had to be a decision made. And, perhaps someone had to walk away from this relationship for some reason, or leave this relationship for some reason. Like maybe somebody was transferred to another city or something like that. Like a decision had to be made about all of this abundance. And because of the Sun card, I kind of feel like it could have to do with, trying to, this a lot of times deals more with money, but it can deal with love. But, having like a lot of abundance. And you may have thought that this relationship was built on, a good foundation. This is, not a bad energy that you have from the past. It's just that a decision had to be made. I'm just getting that, some kind of a decision had to be made about that relationship, or about career, about moving in a different direction. And then you have a powerful move. Okay. This is the Knight of Wands energy, which is very fast moving and kind of like, passionate, inspired energy, and the world. And this is your energy. I'm kind of wondering if you had to decide to move in a certain direction. This is like, I know what I want to do in the world, and I'm going to go out and do it. And you may have, had like a lot of, passion about this. It could have been a creative project or a new career you wanted to go on, or you may have actually even wanted to move to a different city. But, you got movement here, movement here, movement here. You're taking a lot of action right now. I'm just kind of wondering, like, there's a lot of action here, but is it just action to take action? We'll see, what comes up next, but I'm kind of wondering if you're just, sometimes when we're hurting, we just stay busy, so that we don't have to really like look at, why we're hurt. Or, you may have a true purpose, but I don't see a purpose here. Lots of action. And the Knight of, Wands does talk about inspiration, but, you've been inspired to take a lot of action. You have a lot of action here. And it is kind of interesting that you have this card, Rest and Rejuvenate. It's almost kind of like the Spirit is saying to you, you're moving a lot. There's a lot of movement here. Like maybe you just need to sit down and take a nap for a minute. Very interesting. Okay, so let's see what your obstacle is. That might give some more clues. Okay, so you have decrease, the Five of Wands, which is about conflict, and the Three of Swords. Okay, so you definitely are feeling some pain about some kind of loss. Or you may feel like right now you have some loss. Something is missing in your life. And the Five of Wands is conflict, right? And it could be conflict with yourself, but it could also be conflict with someone else. It's kind of interesting because I don't really see any other person in this energy. You do have this energy, but I really think that this is Spirit talking to you, that you have the power, the strength to overcome this obstacle that you find yourself in right now. It's interesting because, a lot of times we see this when we're stagnant. We're kind of stuck in this energy, but you are moving a lot. Like in the present energy, you have a lot of movement. And so that kind of comes up for me again. Are you moving so that you don't have to deal with this pain? This is a lot of pain. And I'm going to come back to this because, I think this is a love reading. So this is pain probably around love. And I do feel like you are missing someone in your life. And whether this is a romantic partner or someone else, someone that, I'm getting the idea, someone that left, although you have all this movement here, either you left or someone else left for some reason. There had to be a decision made. A decision was made on somebody's part. And you have very fond memories of this person. And you're missing them. And I'm sorry about that. Because I can see with these cards, there's a lot of pain here. And it is true. A lot of times when we're in a lot of pain, we move. Like it doesn't matter if it's movement to really get something accomplished, like with a purpose. It's just, I'm just going to stay busy, right? I'm going to stay busy so I don't have to think about it. Okay, so let's look at advice from Spirit. Explore. Trust your imagination to help you journey through your inner landscape to find what you seek. Okay, interesting information, interesting advice, because I do I kind of wonder, if they're just trying to, like, you're not, there's no seeking here, right? There's just movement, lots of action. And I think that what they're trying to say, your inner landscape, like in your heart, what is it that you're moving towards? Like, do you know what you're moving towards? Do you see the light about what it is that you really want in love or just in life in general? Oh, and then you have the Hermit card and you have the Five of Pentacles. I think that their advice is really to sit with your pain and kind of like reflect. Reflect on what it is that you want. Reflect on why this is so painful. This rest and rejuvenate. Like, give yourself time to heal. Do, some of that inner work. Really try to reflect on why this is so painful, because out of that, you'll get the lesson that you're meant to learn that will just help you in future, in building, in your building blocks for future relationships. There's definitely something about just, slowing down all this busyness and kind of dealing with the pain. And I do kind of feel like maybe, this decision to separate came maybe quickly, but it also may have just happened, recently, like in the last, within the last 6 months. And you're trying to get on with your life. I have this feeling that you're trying to get on with your life, but it's difficult because you have all this sadness. Yeah. And they're just saying, be kind. This card is not just about sitting and feeling, getting stuck. You don't want to get stuck in this energy, right? You definitely don't want to do that. But to me, this is also compassion for yourself. Compassion to understand, hey, you obviously have been through a lot, and to allow yourself to heal, to give yourself time to heal, to realize that process takes, a different amount of time for everybody. You may have stopped and tried, and done some of this and then said, oh, I've got to get going here, and there is some truth to that too. You cannot get stuck in the feelings of sadness. And this is a lot of sadness. You don't want to get stuck in that energy, but to also just kind of be compassionate to yourself, to know that you have the strength to overcome this, because, sometimes we just stay busy because we want people to think that we're okay, or we want to think that we're okay. But here, Spirit's really telling you, you do have the inner strength to get through this. And once you get through this, both of these are very spiritual cards. Once you get through this, you're going to see the light. You're going to understand maybe why this had to happen, or you're going to understand yourself better. You're going to understand your thoughts about love better. You're going to have a lot of abundance coming in your way, in both, love and money. And you started out, with the Sun card. You started out with that energy. Okay, and then this is your outcome. And you actually got 2 cards, so I took both. So you have the Angel of Strength. Once again, they're letting you know that this situation is helping you. First of all, you have the strength to get through it. And second of all, your angels, your spirit guides are there to help light the path for you to get through this. But also at the end, you're going to even have more strength, because they have something really fabulous, grand, juicy. We're waiting for you at the end. And so you have the strength. Look forward to that. And with the strategy card, I think that that's, maybe a little bit about coming back to this is like, there's nothing wrong with being busy and going and doing, but make sure that you know where you're going or why you're moving in that direction. Have some strategy to it. So, part of it is maybe you don't have to just like sit there, right? Sit too long in this energy, but also just have some strategy about why you're moving. Find a purpose. I just got that. Through all of this, you may be finding your purpose. That's going to be your light at the end of the tunnel. You're going to find your purpose in why you had to go through this spiritual journey, but also why all of this occurred. You're going to have so much more wisdom at the very end. And then your tarot card. Oh my goodness. You have the transformation in the King of Wands. You are going to transform. You are going to transform. You're going to understand why all of this happened. You may be going through a spiritual awakening. And, I also think it's very interesting. You're going to transform into this King of Wands. Right now, you're a Knight of Wands. You've got a lot of action. You're inspired. You're going to go do something. But the King of Wands is the one that has a strategy and knows why they're moving in that direction. Oh, such a lovely energy. Such a lovely energy. Okay, I'm going to pull a couple of romance cards. This is a love reading, I think your King of Wands. Here's the other thing is, because it is a love reading, you may have had a Knight of Wands in the past that was just moving, you may have been moving down, the romantic timeline very quickly. But Knight of Wands can also, run away very quickly too. Your Knight of Wands may have taken off to see the world, right? But through all of this, you are definitely leveling up to a King of Wands, which is what you want, right? You deserve a king. You definitely deserve a king. And gender doesn't matter. It's just the energy. But you're definitely going from a more immature type of energy to a much more mature energy. It's very nice. Okay, so let's get a couple of romance cards and see what we have. Past life relationship. You have known each other before. Now, I think that's kind of interesting. I kind of feel like this might be your new person. It could be the person that you're dealing with in the past. But I think it's kind of interesting because, I was getting kind of that kind of vibe with this card. So I definitely think that this is someone that's maybe been on your path before. Very interesting. Reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. So, it could be that your Knight of Wands had to go out into the world and do something, right? And you may be missing them or they may be missing you. But when you reconcile, this whole thing is going to help him to be a king, right? I mean, he's going to go out and he's going to become the partner that you really want. You may have had a disagreement about, the immaturity of this relationship, but it's definitely, it's transforming, right? Into the king relationship that you want. Very nice. I'm going to pull one more. Soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, what lovely energy. What lovely energy. So I do think, you're going through something right now, but look at it's transforming into what it is that you really want. And it's kind of interesting with the building blocks. Like I think in past lives, you may have been working on this relationship and now you're going through this situation, but you're both leveling up. And you may have had to go on your separate individual voyages, right? To both kind of mature and level up, to work on things, right? To get into this rest and rejuvenate, to work on what, inner work that you really needed to do. And your person is doing the same. And when you come back together, oh my goodness, what a lovely, lovely, passionate. And you got the wands here, right? This is definitely a passionate relationship. Oh, I love that. Okay, I'm glad we pulled those. I'm so glad. Okay, I am going to pull you a love oracle because I do think, okay. Oh, this is so beautiful. All right, the past is now behind you. Release it and embrace new possibilities. A new path is now available to you. Follow it with faith. And, I do think, this does not mean that it still can't be a reconciliation, right? It's just that when you two get back together, if you choose to get back together, because remember, you always have free will. But if you get back together, the nice thing is that you're going to be on a new path together. It's going to be different than it was before because you definitely have, leveled up, matured. You're ready for the real relationship. Like in the past, it may not have been that way. Okay, let's get a couple of soulmate love cards and see what this has. Oh, I'm so excited for you, Pisces. Okay, cycles, momentum, force, life cycles, stay grounded in the now. And, I'm going to come back to, this rest and rejuvenate, like stay grounded. Don't just be like out running around, like really try to get grounded, work on some of that inner stuff because, this is talking about the cycles that soulmates or twin flames go through, right? You have to go through these cycles and you're kind of cycling around and you're going to reunite. You're going to have a reconciliation. Okay, I'm going to pull one more of those and then we'll see if we can get a timing card. Stuck, block, third party, silence, barrier. Shift your focus to clear the energy. And, this really is kind of talking about, sometimes we can get stuck in a situation. That's why I was like, you don't want to get stuck in that, Three of Swords, Five of Pentacles type of energy. But you also need to have a strategy to try to get yourself unstuck, right? And that really does talk about like, spending time in nature, journaling, whatever it is, self-care, taking the bubble bath or just eating healthy, exercising, doing the things that kind of like rejuvenate yourself and your heart so that you can get unstuck from that energy. Or, I don't really see you stuck in it right now. You might be, but, just to make sure that you don't get stuck in the low vibration. You want to raise your vibration as much as you can and give the other person that's involved in the situation time to work on themselves too. All right, helpful people. So, I do think that there could be people, helping both of you through this situation. It could be family or friends. And it could also be, you may decide to go to counseling, couples counseling, or, counseling on your own. But there's people, but to me, it's also like the spirit world is helping to bring you two back together too. And just to keep that in mind that, people are kind of like cheering you guys on. Like, you need to finish out this cycle, right? We want you guys back together. And then, so, to me, this kind of like talks about what you're doing right now. All of this just action for action, right? Like, it's kind of like, no, don't just act to act. Once again, she's like sitting in the woods, by the water, just kind of resting and rejuvenating. And you have to get in that still mindset so that you can kind of heal. The Hermit is the healing card, so that you can heal some of those, inner wounds or issues that you need to work on so that you can come back together. Okay, I'm going to pull one more angel message and then we'll close it out. And I hope, Pisces, that you have enjoyed this reading. If you have, I'd love for you to like or subscribe to my channel. And let's see what we have. Our last message from the angels, prayer. Dear guardian angel, help me to be flexible in my attitudes and beliefs. Help me not to fear the transient nature of life. Help me to remember the eternal light which emanates from my soul, and the eternal light which emanates from the heart of every living thing. Help me to remember that I'm eternally guided and loved by God and all creation. And I think that that's one thing with this light card. I really do feel like your spirit guides or angels are they're lighting the path for both you and the person you're involved with, right? Like lighting the path and really sitting still and listening to your intuition and to your own heart and healing so that you can, reach out. You can reach out to your spirit guides and to your angels. Ask them to help you through this. Oh, this is such a lovely reading, Pisces. Oh, I have such a good feeling about it. And I do hope that, you come back to this energy, if that's what you want, that you come back to that as soon as possible. Bye for now. I wish you lots of light, love, hope, and joy in the new year. Goodbye, Pisces.